This is Lana with Lana by Lana Design, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm starting a brand new series that's called From Start to Finish. These are going to be videos specifically made for those people who receive my cards, and now they can go to my channel and see how these cards are made from start to finish. There will be a lot of fun techniques and products to be seen, so stick around for more creative ideas. This is video number 1, and let's get going. So, I first created images in my Cricut design space, which will then be transferred on the paper. As you can see, my Cricut machine is drawing and cutting everything for me. Now it is time to move to the second part. This is what my Cricut did, and now it's time to create a scene. When creating, I like to make a sketch. It just helps me navigate faster. I'll be using this kit from Hero Arts. This kit is part of the monthly subscription. It was from July 2019, almost a year ago. I'm not sure if this kit is available on their site, but if it is, I'll link it below. One thing to know about these kits is that when they sell out, they're sold for good. Hero Arts does not make them again. So by subscribing, you are guaranteed a kit. I will be using these awesome inks. They were part of this kit. I'll be creating a scene using mountains, woods, and water. I'm going to start first by coloring the silhouette in black. I just want them to look as shadows. Since I'm using watercolor paper, I will be coloring with a Sharpie. Using Copics or other alcohol markers might not work as well because watercolor paper will first will drink too much of your ink, and second, the ink from the markers might seep through the fibers of your paper, and you might end up with you might not end up with crisp lines. Since I am now done with my coloring, it is time to create a scene. Now I'm going to use a mask to cover my image, simply because I don't want to color it again. I'm using removable labels by Avery. They're inexpensive and you get a lot for your buck. They don't leave any tag behind and ink will not bleed through. As you can see, I first drew my riverbank, and now I'm moving to creating the background or a scene. I will use my Misty for this because I know that I will be double stamping because I'm working with watercolor paper. I'm starting with the wood, stamping the first layer with Hero Arts lime green dye ink. And as you can see, this stamp is a little bit narrow. It's narrow for my cards, so I'm just going to move my card and try my best to align the stamp to the image on the card. I am going to ink it, stamp it one more time, and of course I am done. Now I am going to move to the second layer. The ink I am using for this is by Hero Arts, and it's called Forest Dye ink. This ink is a little bit darker and it is going to create some depth and dimension. I am repeating the same process as I did earlier, and now I'm just coloring the white spot that looks like halo. You can also use your markers for this. Okay, my forest is done, and now I'm moving onto the mountains. I'm going to mask my forest first before I start stamping. I am using Hero Arts soft granite ink and Altenew limestone ink. I will stamp the first layer with Altenew ink and finish with Hero Arts ink. Again, I am stamping twice because of my watercolor paper, but if you are using smooth paper, stamping once might be good enough. Now I am moving to the second layer. This will definitely give that more realistic look. And my mountains are done. Next, I am going to mask my mountains and add some blue color for the sky. I'm using Hero Arts, this is Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Tumble Glass ink. And I'm just gently applying this ink. I'm not gonna add a lot of it. And after I'm done with this, I'm just gonna add some white pigment ink for some clouds. It just completes the scene. It doesn't really add that much, you might think, but for some reason it just looks complete. Now I'm going to remove the masking paper, and I just love how this turned out. Okay, next I need to protect my scene so I can create a river here. I'm going to mask the top and the bottom of my card, right where I created those lines for the riverbank. For water, I am using Hero Arts Cornflower ink and just gently applying it to my card with my Picket Fence life-changing brushes. Now I'm going to add some ripples. I'm using Hero Arts Sea Glass Reactive ink and Hero Arts Dusty Blue dye ink. I'm just randomly putting them on, and once again I'm just going to go over with white pigment ink for some shading. Now it is time to color the ground. I am going to mask the river area first. I'm going to use Hero Arts Sandstone ink to color the sand or the ground. Again, I am just gently applying that ink onto the paper. I should have left my card alone at this point, but I decided to add some Copic coloring for more interest. I am using E13, E15, and E33. As soon as I started, I realized I made a mistake, but there's nothing left for me to do but to continue. I'm just gonna keep adding color for shading and more dimension. Now, since the masking paper is off, it actually looks very nice. I am truly pleased with this card. All that is left to do is glue the image and the inside of the card or the sentiments to the card base. I am using 110 pound cardstock for my card base. The size is 10 by 7 inches, scored in the middle. I am going to use my bone folder to fold this card, and I'm using my trusty art glitter glue to adhere the design to the card base. This glue is fantastic. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room until it dries completely, and once it's dry, nothing will move anywhere. Okay, same goes for the inside of the card. And now, as you can see, my card is completed. All that it's left is to mail it. I really love how this turned out. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Again, I used my monthly kit from Hero Arts. This kit is from July of last year, and I will link it below if it's still available, as well as all the products I used in today's video. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about today's video. in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I hope to see you soon in the next video. Take care. Bye.